I did a thing. There he is. Look how cute he is. I love him already. Hello everyone and welcome to another vlog. My name is Ella, and if you see me looking around nervously, it's because I waited until 9 o'clock at night to film this video, which I really shouldn't have done, but it couldn't be avoided because I start my new job tomorrow, which I'll talk about in a later video. But this week, as I promised in previous videos, I'm going to be talking about my experience adopting a haunted doll, which you just saw a little bit of the initial footage of me doing. So I was really nervous throughout the whole process, and I really did it on a whim because I had watched a lot of videos about haunted dolls and stuff like that, and I was like, I don't know, I just don't think that that's for me. I'm skittish. I don't know that I am comfortable with the idea of having spirits knowingly in my house, so I never really did it. And then I was watching a video by Loie Lane, who was talking about different boutiques and spirit stores where she had seen people selling haunted dolls. And I ended up looking up the Etsy shop that she recommended, and the first doll I saw, I just started crying, and I just knew that I needed to bring him home. So, everybody, you've met him already, but here is your official introduction. This is little Bryce. Now, I don't know much about Bryce other than what the seller told me. Excuse me for a second. I'm going to find the screenshot I took of his story when I bought him on Etsy. That way I can just read it off, because really it's going to have the best information on it. Did I go too far? I think I went too far. Here we go. All right. So, all that was in the description for Bryce on his seller's Etsy page was, Bryce, super sweet baby boy. He is about 3 or 4 and very small for his age. He lived in an orphanage. Rules were very strict, but he never did lose his little spirit no matter how neglected he was. He still found reasons to laugh. He still saw the good in people and still loved making friends. I think he was behind his age developmentally, and that may be why he couldn't really comprehend what was going on around him. Unfortunately, he got pneumonia, and with the living conditions he was in, there was little to no chance of surviving that. This little guy has the brightest energy and likes to communicate via pendulum, yes or no questions. He has also been seen as bright, playful orbs on camera. So that's all the information that I knew about Bryce. And before I took the plunge, I messaged the seller and I was like, hi, I'm a first-time buyer of a haunted object, and I just want to make sure that Bryce is going to be a good fit for me. And she messaged me back almost immediately and was like, I'm so glad you're interested. I think he's really good for a beginner collector, and just make sure that he knows that he is welcome here and that he has his own space and his own toys and everything like that. And I think he'll really appreciate that. And I was like, okay, cool. I can 100% do that. And I haven't done it yet, but we'll get there, won't we, little buddy? So I went ahead and bought Bryce, and she actually sent him off that day. I was really surprised about that. And I waited and waited and waited, and you will see how long I waited in these videos here. He was supposed to get here on Friday, today, and he's still not here. I just want him to get here already. Okay, it is now Monday the 22nd, and he is finally, you can't see that, out for delivery. He's supposed to get here today. Oh, I'm so excited to meet him. Okay, I just got the notification that Bryce is in my mailbox, so I'm gonna go get him. I'm really excited. Ah! there's two. Interesting. Oh, that's a feeling right there. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I hope that picked up on the camera. That sounded like it was the box thunking. Oh, there, we're into it already. Okay. All right. Hi, Bryce. I'm really excited to meet you today. My heart is pounding and I have such a bad headache also. Oh, this package nice and safely. Let me explain what just happened. I'm unwrapping him. I know you saw that. As soon as I uncovered him, I just felt this like wave. I don't know what kind of wave over me that it was, but I felt a wave. Oh my gosh, I'm not afraid of him. I'm just nervous. This is my first haunted doll. And I want him to be happy here. Oh, my heart is pounding. Okay. Oh, I got you, buddy. Like, it's, I don't know if this is part of him. I don't want it to, like that's, I can't tell if it's hair or some kind of, like, string or something, but it doesn't look like it's part of him. Hi! Welcome home. I hope you like it here. I'm so excited to meet you. Oh no, there's like actual physical hair on him, and I don't know if I'm supposed to take it off or not, so. Isn't he just the cutest thing? Oh, I'm so excited. Ugh. And now we let him settle in. So that was the process of me finally getting the notifications that Bryce had arrived to my mailbox, and I was so glad that he was delivered and that I didn't have to go pick him up at the post office, because that's a whole ordeal that I don't like dealing with. But I picked him up from my mailbox, which you saw like immediately. There was just like a shift, and that also happened again in the unboxing part of the video. And I've already put the clip in, but I'm going to put the clip again at the very beginning of that, because as soon as I set the box down and turned the camera on, there was a thud from the box. And it's really quiet, so I'm gonna see if I can maybe turn the volume up on the video, but I'm just going to put it in again here so you can hear, because I'm sure you weren't listening for it the first go around. Oh my god. So that could have been something, it could have been nothing, it could have just been Bryce's little body shifting in the box, it could have been something from one of the other apartments, and it just sounded like it came from the box. But I just thought it was interesting that it happened as soon as I turned the camera on. Hey, it's our first night. I've got Bryce next to my bed. Got him set so I can tell, based on the text on this book, if he moves at all during the night. We'll see what happens in the morning. Good night, Bryce. Okay, so no movement during the night, but I had a nightmare that I woke up and looked over and he had like fully turned like to the side so that he was staring at me. Whew, it scared me so bad, but he didn't move, and that's okay. I didn't expect him to. Sometimes it takes haunted dolls a bit of time to get used to their new surroundings before they do anything. So I'm gonna give him a week to settle in, and then I'm gonna try and contact him via the pendulum that the seller suggested. So like I said in that video, I did give Bryce a week to kind of get familiar with being in this apartment and kind of figuring out his new schedule and everything, because the seller did mention that Bryce should be kept in a room that I'm in a lot. And since I spend pretty much equal time between my living room and my bedroom, I just carry him back and forth when I get going for the day. So in the evenings when I go to bed, I carry him back to my bedroom and set him on my bedside table like you saw in that clip. And then the next morning, I wake him up and I say good morning and carry him out here, and it's just, that's how it's been every day since he's gotten here, and it's a nice little situation that we've got going on. So this morning when I'm filming this, I filmed this Tuesday, I got him all situated on my coffee table. I set him next to the little stuffed rabbit that I got him yesterday, hoping that he'd like it, and I just set him up here, and I tried 2 different methods with my pendulum. I only recorded the first because the second one I wanted to see if maybe he was scared of the camera, and that's why I didn't really get the answers that I wanted. So I got everything all set up, and here's how that pendulum session went. Okay everyone, we are here. I have had Bryce for a week now. So I decided I was going to try and speak with him on the pendulum now that he's had some time to kind of get used to his new surroundings. I have the air conditioning turned off, completely off, in my apartment, so it can't turn on and interfere with the pendulum. This is the pendulum I'm going to be using. I believe it is either red agate or it might be tiger's eye. But I got it in a subscription box that I used to do, and it actually came with this little card that's basically a Ouija board but for the pendulum. But I'm not going to be using this because 1, it scares me, and 2, the previous owner of Bryce said that he does answer yes/no questions on the pendulum. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell him to move it one way for yes and one way for no. So I'm going to sit down. You probably won't be able to see me in this video, and that's okay because I want the focus to be on him. But okay. Hi Bryce. I've got this pendulum right here. I'm going to ask you a few questions. If the answer is yes, can you move it back and forth towards you? And if it's no, can you move it left and right? Like this? I'd appreciate it very much. I'm really excited to finally get to talk to you. So I'm going to let this even out a little bit. And we're just going to start. Bryce, are you here with me right now? Are you who was making all those knocking noises the other day when I was watching a movie? It's moving a little bit towards him, but I also don't know if that's just me. I'm going to try holding this with my other hand to see if it's any steadier. In a normal paranormal investigation scenario, they would have this hooked up to a rig so that it would hold by itself, so that my hands are not moving it, but I don't have that kind of setup, and I'm not sure what I can use around here to do that. So, I'm trying to look around to see what I have to use. I really don't think that I have anything. I guess I'll just have to try and be as still as I can. Okay, Bryce, are you here with me right now? Are you liking your new living situation? I picked the wrong day to do this. Cars are loud outside. Do all the loud noises scare you? Are you still getting settled and that's why I can't really contact you right now? Oh, that might be a yes. Do you like the stuffed bunny that I got you yesterday? Are you afraid of being in this new apartment? Would you like to have your own little chair or bed to sit in so you have your own space in this apartment? I think that might be a tiny little yes. I'm gonna hold this a little closer and see if maybe you need it to be closer to have some more energy. Does holding the pendulum closer help you move it easier? Are you afraid of being here? Bryce, if you're here with me right now, can you make that knocking noise on my wall like you did the other day? Bryce, are you at peace? Thank you for talking with me, if you did talk with me. In the future, I will try to set up something a little easier for you to deal with. You might be afraid to move this because I'm holding it. You might not have the energy to move it while I'm holding it. So I'll see about getting something for you to be able to move it maybe a little more easily in the future. Okay, I think we're done here. So yeah, I didn't really get any answers or anything like I was hoping to get in that video. I do think it was because I was holding it myself, which meant that, you know, any move that I made, breathing or anything like that, would make the pendulum move even just a little bit. So I did try and set it up, propped up. It was so ridiculous. I had the pendulum hung on a pin, and the pin was held up between two candlestick holders that I have, and there were a bunch of stuff underneath one candle holder because the other candle holder was taller than the other one, and it was a whole mess, and there was really only like this much room for the pendulum to move anyways. But I didn't really get any answers that way either until my neighbors started being loud. This neighbor back here, I think they make music. I hear the same song over and over and over again. They started playing music, and they were kind of banging around on this side. And so I looked down, and by that time the pendulum had completely stopped moving from, you know, just being settled down there, and from the last time I had tried. So I sat there, and I looked at the pendulum, and then I looked at Bryce, and I said, "Are the loud noises from the neighbors bothering you?" And that's when I finally saw the pendulum kind of started to move in a circular motion, not backwards and forwards like I wanted it to, and not left and right like I wanted it to. But it did start moving from its own, like from stillness, it started moving. So I'm not sure what to make of that. It could have been a number of things. It could have been me leaning close and my breath could have set it off, which I did test later after that, and that did happen. So it could have been that, or maybe it was Bryce trying to actually say something. But I will say that before this, last Wednesday, actually, when I was editing my last video, I had Harry Potter on because I was in a sad mood. You guys know this already. And for some reason, I still turn on the Harry Potter movies when I need comfort. So I had those on, and I just started hearing knocking all around the apartment, on this wall, in the kitchen, on my closet wall, which was unsettling because there cannot be, like, that's literally just my closet on the other side of the wall, and there's a dresser against that wall also, so like no one could have been in there. And even if there had been someone in there, I would have known because I have been home for weeks. It's not like someone would have gotten in there and I wouldn't have known. And also I lock all my doors anyways. So I start hearing all this knocking all over the place. So before I do anything, I sit there for a little bit and I keep hearing it. And so it stops. And then I was like, okay, Bryce, is that you? Then I hear it again. And I'm like, okay, maybe we're getting somewhere. So then I made the mistake of pulling out my phone and getting on Snapchat. And I started filming. And I will let you see what happened from there. Bryce, just to make sure that for the third time, could you make that knocking noise again? Do you not like the camera? Bryce, could you make that knocking noise again? So, yeah, that particular knock in that video came from my closet wall. And I know this because I tried it out later. I went into my room, went into my closet, and tapped on that back wall in my closet, and it was the exact same sound that I heard. Because there are different depths to like the knocking based on where the wood is being knocked in my apartment. One side over here will sound kind of, deeper, like, but then that one over there, the closet wall, was more of a tapping kind of knock. So I checked it out. Like, I believe in this sort of stuff, but I also do have some level of skepticism. So I've been approaching this with a very open mind, both ways. So I did test that out, and that sound did come from my closet, which is more than a little unsettling because no one's in my apartment but me and Bryce. So, and the fact that I asked if Bryce didn't like the camera being on, and that's when I got that knock again, it scared me. And then, like I said in that video, as soon as I turned the camera off, I heard the knocking again. So I was like, okay, I get it, no more camera. And that's kind of why I ended up doing a session with a pendulum without the camera on, in case Bryce was worried about being filmed or stuff like that, because not all spirits like being recorded or like being contacted or anything like that, especially in like a public setting, like being filmed on camera. So that might be why I did get at least one answer, or it could have just been anything. It could have been me breathing too close to the pendulum. It could have been vibrations from doors closing and opening around my apartment. It could have been anything. But I kind of like to think that Bryce is at least saying a little bit. Just, a little hello to let me know that I'm not alone and that he's here with me. So I will say, though, I am a little nervous to leave Bryce alone for several hours. The first time I did it was yesterday. I had a lot of errands that I had to do, and I was gone for about 5 or 6 hours, and I felt like a mother with her child. I was like, okay, I'll only be gone a few hours. I promise I'll be back soon. I promise I'm not abandoning you. I will come back. But like for tomorrow with work, I'll be gone 6 or 7 hours round trip with travel and everything in my shift. And then with my family coming down in April and May, I'll be gone for weeks at a time. So I'm nervous, and I'm hoping that by then we'll have bonded a little bit more and he won't be as nervous or afraid of being alone, and I won't come back to any weird things in my apartment, weirder than they already are. So, but all in all, I'm kind of happy that I did this. Like, the reason that I kind of went ahead and did it was because I was like, I've been kind of lonely at home, quarantine's been hitting really hard, and I haven't been seeing my friends or anything, and I haven't even been talking to anyone in my life except my parents every once in a while. I just need company. And when I saw that she mentioned that Bryce was a bright, happy spirit and that he was, cheerful and everything like that, I was like, well, that sounds perfect and just the kind of energy that I need in my life. So I am, I will say, I feel like I have been in a little bit of a better mood since I brought Bryce home. I haven't mentioned this to anyone else except maybe one of my friends, but the day that I brought him home and unboxed him, I don't know what exactly happened. I don't know if this is a bad thing or a good thing, but I got through unboxing him, I turned the camera off and everything like that, and I felt like something was just like sitting on my chest, and I ended up throwing up like out of nowhere, and then it was gone. So I mean, it could have been just my body being weird, but it's also a little weird that it happened like right when I brought him home. So I'm staying open-minded about that one as well. It seemed maybe important to me at the time. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But I haven't had anything that intense happen really since that. So it's all pretty much been pretty quiet and calm. The first night that I brought him home, when I went to sleep, I did have a dream that I was like laying in bed, and I saw where I sat him, I saw him turn his head to look at me, and it felt very real and vivid. So I don't know if that was also just kind of like a, hey, I'm here with you, or if that was just me being a little scared of having a haunted object in my house for the first time, knowingly. So, like I said, everything that has happened with Bryce, I'm approaching with an open mind, both ways. I am both skeptical and believing when it comes to ghosts and spirits and stuff like that. So I'm really interested to see how things turn out with Bryce. And I'm really liking having him around. And I'm just interested to see what happens. Because if anything happens, I will definitely be filming an update video to discuss it. So if you have any questions about the process of adopting a haunted object, there are literally hundreds of them on eBay, on Etsy. There are people that literally collect haunted objects for the sole purpose of getting to know about them so that they can figure out what kind of home these dolls need to go to, and then they list them for sale. So if you have any questions about that process, about narrowing things down, leave them down below in the comments. If you have any other questions, concerns, ideas for future videos, definitely let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and if you would like to be notified when I upload new videos, go ahead and click that little bell icon down there. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye! You did it! Your first YouTube video.